It doesn't matter if you are in Season 1, Season 2 or Season 3, sooner or later there will come the time where you need to choose which legendary artifact you should buy. So in this video I'm going to talk about the top 5 artifacts that you should get. Hello guys, Wilsonbox here, I hope everyone is alright. In this video we are checking the artifacts, so this is my main account. So this is the artifacts I got until now. I already have a couple of them and some of them are really important. So these two, so this one is from one of the events, these two it's from the Pillar of Trials and the Feymander. So I got these 5 here. So this is not the top 5, forget this one, okay? So let's talk about the top 5. So the first artifact that you should get is Witch's Remains. It helps a lot, especially those bosses where you need to get 22 million damage or you don't have enough damage. This helps a lot, it increases a lot your damage because it gives defense penalty too. So if we check the Crown of Unclean, because it works similar to this one. So it's defense penalty 1, decrease the defense for 30%. And this one is defense penalty 2, which increases the defense of the enemy for 50%, which is a lot. So with this you're gonna do much more damage, and if you get this to level 20 it gives a lot of accuracy and also 60% chance, it's a lot. And if you are constantly inflicting this defense penalty 2, you're gonna do much more damage. Maybe in one of those bosses that you can't reach 22 million and you are just doing 19, maybe you can do 22, 24 or even more. So now we are going to check the difference between the Crown of Unclean and the Witch's Remain. So with the Crown of Unclean we did 271. So let's check how much will be the difference between the Crown of Unclean and Witch's Remain. So guys, as you can see, 310,000, that's how much we did. We did more 60,000. Comparing the Crown of Unclean with the Witch's Remain, we did more 60,000, which is really good if you think again that you're gonna use this, is gonna be useful for all your allies, everyone is gonna do more damage, and with that you can achieve the 22 million damage on that shift challenge or increase the damage on Vortex. The second artifact that I recommend you to get is the Rift Hourglass, and this one is very useful. You can use it everywhere, PvE or PvP. For PvP it's really good, but it's also useful for PvE. For example, on Feymander there are some tricky stages where you need to apply CC or use ultimate before the enemy uses their ultimate. So with a Rift Hourglass it can give you 100 extra skill haste. So with this one you are sure that you going to cast first than your enemy. So this is why it's also very useful on the PvP. And sometimes that's the difference between the team that wins and loses, and this one will make the trick. So without the Rift it takes 12 seconds to cast the first skill. Supposedly I have more 90 extra skill haste. So let's see how long this is gonna take to cast this skill. So as you guys can see, was not 12 seconds, was around 11, and if you level up this to 20 you're gonna have 100% skill haste extra, which sometimes it's enough to make a difference in a PvP combat or in Feymander when you have those really difficult enemies. The next one I'm gonna say it's Parasol of Paradise. As you guys can see I don't have it because the problem with this is the more legendary artifacts you have, the more yellow incense you're gonna need, because they cost more to level up to 20. Epic artifacts are cheaper to level up to 20. So this one will be similar to the Mirror of the Living. I've been using the Mirror of the Living, but if you want to increase your healing, this one will make it. So it's Parasol of Paradise, and this one will, when the wearer takes damage, healing equal to until 50% of the damage taken is triggered and distributed evenly to allies around the hero. So this is gonna increase a lot the healing between your team, and it's gonna make them survive. But this one I'm gonna say it's optional. If you feel like you already have enough healing and your heroes are surviving well to the enemy bosses or PvP, then don't prioritize this one. There are other artifacts that you can get as well. Now for the parasol, I really need to use somewhere where I'm gonna take some damage, so we're gonna try the parasol on Vortex and see the difference. So I'm gonna do this fight with these 5 guys, okay, same gear, and then I'll do exactly the same thing, but with the parasol. So, as you guys can see, 18 million damage, we took survived for 6 minutes and 28. I was using a different artifact, I was using the Essence Burner just to cast the battle skill more often, and next one I'm gonna use the parasol just to see the difference. If we can survive more, I don't really care about the damage, I really want to know if we can survive much more with the parasol artifact on Ardred. So guys, as you can see, the difference is huge. We survived 8 minutes 0.1 seconds, and before we survived 6 minutes and 28. So as you guys can see, big difference. It's 2 minutes difference which is huge, and it helps a lot to increase your damage as well. So you guys can see parasol makes a big difference. So the next one I'm gonna talk about, and I have this one, it's the Solar King's Horn. This one is really good because it increases your damage as well. So if you need some more damage, you can give this Solar King's Horn to your healer, especially if it's a AoE healer, not just a single heal. Like, imagine Garius will not be useful for him if you are using this one, because with this one, where heals and ally increase ally's damage by until 5% up to 3 stacks. So imagine if you are doing AoE, you heal 3 times your allies, you are giving more 15% more damage to your allies. So 15% more damage to each ally, it's gonna do a lot more on those bosses. So I'm gonna test this for 1 minute without the Horn artifact, just to compare the damage without it and with it. So this is the damage without that artifact, so 121. So now let's check with the Horn artifact. So as you guys can see, I did a little bit more damage. The last one I did 121,000. Now I did 135,000. So this was 1 minute fight. Imagine if it was on Vortex or something like that, where the fights are longer, you're gonna do much more damage. And remember, this is gonna increase the damage not just for one ally, but all your team. And finally, the last one I want to talk about, it's the Gatekeeper staff. It gives defense, skill haste, and especially this thing here, so it can give you 100% of the overheal from the wearer will be equally converted into a shield. So especially if you have Ardred and Garius, and you give these to Garius, it's not just gonna heal your allies to full heal, it's also gonna give them a massive shield, especially if you have Ardred, because Ardred is gonna increase by 50% the healing, so that shield will be huge. The Gatekeeper staff, it works really well on Garius, but you can use it in a different healer as well. But with Ardred, it has a really great synergy. So if you guys check here, she can increase 50% of the healing. So if we do more healing, we're gonna get more of this passive of this artifact. So let's check how this works. So let's have a look. So Ardred is gonna cast his ultimate, he's going to increase the healing from Garius. So there you go. And then Garius is gonna use the ultimate, and as you guys can see, I can heal, and also the over healing will be converted to a shield. So this will be really good. It doesn't matter if it's PvP or PvE, Famander, whatever, it's gonna help a lot to increase your survivability. This is my top 5 artifacts. So will be these 4: Rift Hourglass, Solar Gatekeeper's Witch Remains, and also the Parasol of Paradise if you feel like you need some more healing. But this will be your top priority, these 4. And then you can get this as well. Then there are some more artifacts that can be useful. It's up to you, like this one, these 2, Witch Remains, Rift Hourglass, it's top priority. It's gonna increase your game so much. This one is gonna increase your damage, this one PvP and PvE as well. And then if you have Garius and Ardred, this one is gonna help a lot. This Solar will increase the damage, and this one will increase the survivability if you feel like you need it, if you don't have like really good healers or strong tanks. But then if you already have Witches Remain and Rift Hourglass, you don't really need to go for these 2. Imagine if you feel like you are lacking some damage, then you can choose one of those. I just say these ones are priority because these artifacts, you can use them on any character that you want. You can use it on a fire element, on a lightning element, it doesn't matter, you can use it everywhere. And if you are getting these ones, of course, then you're going to increase your damage, like these ones from fire. As you guys can see, I have 2 soul imprints and I've not used it yet, because if I use on these artifacts, I'm not going to be able to use them on a lightning or ice element, only on the fire ones, because they are stick to the fire element. Like this one, I have this one because I have a really good dauntless that makes a good synergy with this artifact, and that's why I got this lamp. It works really well if you have a good legendary hero, dauntless hero to use with this one. With this, I hope this top 5 helps you a lot to decide which will be your first, second, third or fourth artifact you are getting, or even fifth. These are really the best options you can get, especially these 4. Okay, they're gonna increase a lot your game. They're gonna help you a lot in the most difficult stages, and they are a big boost. Just don't forget, the more legendary artifacts you get, the more yellow answers you're gonna need, because these ones are more expensive to level up to 20, guys. So this is it, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, don't forget to press that like and subscribe button. Thank you so much for watching, and see you next time.